It is time for the May pack leak of a new deck, not an older deck receiving support. This is it. 3, 2, 1.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Horus. Horus is coming in May. I'm coming, you're coming, Horus is coming. This deck type package is nuts. The deck type itself is not that great, but it's used in many different decks. Do you hate Nibiru? Where you could toss in this package into your deck to stop Nibiru. So how would that even work? Let's say you have the Glory of Horus in your hand plus any other card. You would then discard that card to search your deck for the King's Sarcophagus and then draw a card. And then you play the Sarcophagus, you then discard your newly drawn card or whatever you want to discard to then send another Horus monster from your deck to the grave. Now, I can't think of any other monster that has an effect like this. They have the effects to summon from the graveyard without starting a chain link. That's wild. You know how you summon a Fenrir or Unicorn from the hand and it just comes out of nowhere before activating? This does that from the grave. So you pick up the graveyard, you summon it, they can't go, oh wait, I want to do something. No, it hits the field just like that, no activation, and they are level 8. So what you could do, you're on summon number 2, you then make a card like Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, you could monster negate Nibiru, then you could start cooking with your real deck. You didn't use up your normal summon, you just had to, you know, the Horus in your hand plus another card, and then that's fine, and then the rest of your hand, you're gonna make your main play. So stop Nibiru if you hate that. This also stops spells if you want to make that instead. If you're going second, you could summon a Dingirsu, non-target send a card on the field to the graveyard. So if we're looking at the TCG meta on YuGiOhMeta.com, the most popular rank 8 Xyzes are as followed. We have the Fire King Xyz, which you could also do this on summon, would destroy all their monsters on the field, but it doesn't exist in Master Duel. And then you have Photon Lord due to the Horus cards, making it very popular in popular order. Got the Dingirsu, and then we have cards like Zombie Vampire. I was shocked when I saw Zombie Vampire, which has the effect to mill the top 4 cards of both players' decks, then summon a monster among those 8 cards total. I saw this in Vanquished Soul. What the heck? So if we click on King Sarcophagus here, we're going to be searching all decks that have it. So for example, I could add, in addition to this, a Vanquished Soul card, and we'll see that it was being played top 64 so that they could mill off the top of their deck the Raisin. So it helped them combo start. Look at that, Zombie Vampire, mill the Raisin, summon the Raisin if you didn't open it. That's wild. Well, more importantly, they're using it in a deck like Tearlament. So Tearlament, make your rank 8 Xyz, which would be the Zombie Vampire. By the way, this dude forgot to put Zombie Vampire in their extra deck. He said he was supposed to. He played the whole tournament and won without it, but I just want you to understand that it's supposed to be here, all right? And played with 14 card extra deck. I don't know, it still won, cool. But that's what you do. You're milling the cards by card effect. You're then triggering Tearlament. So this is going to be a big boost for Tearlament. Let's see the other decks where this is being used in. Centurion, which is not coming in the May pack, sorry. But Tearlament is good. Adventure Phantom Knights. It's, you know, like I said, any deck could use this. These are all different decks using it. Here's a Lightsworn deck. This is TCG specifically. We have a Branded. How's Branded doing this? I'm shocked. This is Chimera, actually. Because what's funny is if you summon the Photon Lord to stop Nibiru, you then can't Branded Fusion the same turn you do that. So there is a confliction there, but even with that confliction, they did not care. So if they had another play that was not with Branded Fusion, they would make the Photon Lord with the Horus cards and then start cooking. Monster negate on either player turn, mate. That is nuts. And there is a pure Horus deck, and it's this. It's first place of an OTS championship. That's, you know, pretty cool. So this is what the deck would look like pure, where it's playing Light and Darkness Dragon or some nonsense and trade in. I'm not saying that this is actually good, but you could even, I've seen people play Giant Trainer into their deck. So if your deck wants to more consistently get your combo starter off the top of your deck among the 4 cards with the Zombie Vampire, instead, if you get 3 Horus monsters on the field, you can Giant Trainer, draw 3. Boom. Don't use up your normal summon. You got to draw 3 because, for example, the King Sarcophagus, you could activate the effect of sending a horse from the deck to the grave more than once per turn. So if you play more than the monkey-looking horse, you could send the other horses to the grave. You could summon up to 4 of them. You can go 1, 2, 3, Giant Trainer, draw 3, special summon the 4th, make more plays. You haven't even normal summoned yet, and it's a good time. So do get excited for Horus. And what I didn't mention beyond how techable this package is and all that good stuff, the King Sarcophagus states that your Horus cards cannot be destroyed unless they're specifically targeted. So it's kind of like a situation with Goddess where she's unaffected unless she's targeted. Also, they have non-target, send an opponent's monster to the graveyard if you battle with them at the start of the damage step. We're just talking about a card like Borland and how there aren't good outs to the Borland, really. Well, not that Borland's an issue, okay? I know it's rarely even summoned, but this is an example where this gets outed. It gets sent to the graveyard non-target by the King Sarcophagus by damage step sending them to the graveyard. And then also, they have this additional effect, all of them. They have something where if another card you control leaves the field by a card effect from your opponent, they'll trigger. And the trigger of the Happy will be returning 2 banished cards or graveyard cards back to the hand from either player. And you also have this one, which is even better, non-target, send a card in the field to the grave. So I have another card in the field, you deal with it in some way, and then this will trigger to non-target, send a card the opponent controls to the graveyard. So it's got anti-disruption, it has good removal, it's got protection, it adds consistency, stops Nibiru, negate, deal with the field mate, make your deck more consistent. It does a lot. And apparently OCG has been loving Horus within the playing in Naturia. What is this? This is a ton of Naturia Horus. So you could look at this, look at that. Is this the best way to play with it? Because it's the only real deck type that's actually using the Black Flame Deity, where no one else wants to play it because it's too difficult to summon. So there you go. I mean, unfortunately, the Foolish Burial Goods is not usable at 2 for us because I think it's limited to 1. So very interesting. There you go. That's another way if you want to play with the Horus cards. And let's check out some gameplay. I do have gameplay of Horus. Let's check out some Horus gameplay. This is pure Horus. This is an interesting way to play it. I'll show you the deck list. Let's go. Got trade in. They're all level 8, so discard level 8. We're going to search for a Horus monster here. We're going to discard any card from our hand. We're going to set up with the King Sarcophagus and draw a card. Random draw. Pot a D, banish the, draw 2, send from the deck to the grave. That's going to be the Bridge of Salvation to search our deck for a field spell, any field spell. The Mausoleum, okay. King Sarcophagus is activatable multiple times in one turn to send a horse from the deck to the grave by discarding. And they don't activate, they just summon onto the field just like that. We got the Mausoleum as we pay 2,000 life to summon our Light and Darkness Dragon. Light and Darkness can negate 5 effects. And it negates the first effect that's activated, even if it's your own. So you got to be careful. Well, it did not negate the Horus summoning from the grave because that does not activate. So we're using and abusing the fact that they don't activate the summon from the grave. Very interesting. Imperm, negate, and then it's like an Apollo USA. It's only once per chain. Back in my day, there wasn't really effects to chain to an effect that was negating. It was just negate 5 effects. I couldn't think of really anything. Maybe enemy. I think people were chaining Book of Moon, actually. Yeah, they're chaining Book of Moon. That was a thing back in my day. Negate. We got more negates. OG Apollo USA, but it negates everything. Solemn Judgment, negate the summon. Negate. Let's go, mate. Yes. And look at that, just summons onto the field. It's so weird. It feels like, how is that a thing? Summon from the grave does not start a chain. I can't think of any other monster that does that. All right, let's do it again. So we are gonna call by the grave, the Droll and Lockbird. Finger. Discard, add, random draw. Pot of D, come to me. If we don't draw into Light and Darkness Dragon, what do we do? Well, let's find it out. Now, the horse cards are actually spellcasters, so the spellcaster village works with them. Nice. Summon, summon, summon. Look at that giant. This is draw 3, but Imperm is going to negate draw 3, unfortunately. So we got Pot of D draw. We got the Horus 2 discard, search and draw. We got Giant Trainer draw 3. This is a deck. But yeah, I mean, it did well in the OCG. Well, kind of. It won a few tournaments. All right, all right. What are our disruptions here? They can't activate spells unless they control Spellcaster. We do, they don't. Let's go. And there's 4 horse monsters you could summon from the grave. And now we're going to get drawing. Draw 1, draw 2. We already got the draw 3 negated. We got our Light and Darkness Dragon, summon. What is that? I don't even know what the heck that is. This is, you are going to be able to, the effect is, if this card succeeds summon, you could look at your opponent's extra deck, send 1 card from it to the graveyard. What? You could detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. Then if you destroyed a face-up monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half of the attack it had on the field. What the heck was that? We just deleted Dragoon. Dragoon is gone. Okay, Light and Darkness Dragon, and it doesn't negate them because they don't activate. This is such an interesting deck. Even though, you know, Horse is supposed to be a package for other decks, but this is still pretty cool. Nice, nice. Negate. Can't activate spells because we have the Spellcaster Village. Wait, we're negating ourselves. Oh, it was a mandatory activation during the standby phase. Oops, that's not good. Destroy the back row. Okay. Destroy the back row. You just detach them, they resummon. This is such a we just had a skill drain event. Horus is for the skill drain event. What is this? Damn. All right, so let me show you the deck list from them real quick, and then I'll show you, there you go, deck difficulty. It's an easy deck to play. It looks something like this, which surprisingly topped a few tournaments in Japan. So let's see that. This is a tournament winning deck right here. This sample deck, as you can see there. And then we could highlight this. This got top 8. This is the first place deck list we were looking at right there. But the majority is playing it like this if you want to play pure Horus, which is not top tier, but that's okay. It's still fun. That's TCG. Let's switch on to OCG. Something like this is looking good. Looks like they're playing some Snake Eye Ash. But mostly, most importantly, with the King Sarcophagus, it's going to supplement an already good deck, making it better, especially Tearlament. Because if we look at Master Duel Meta tier list, the best decks that'll benefit the most from it is definitely going to be Tearlament that just fell off the tier list, and they'll come back. So there you go. Look out for this and much more and all that good stuff. Thank you very much. We're out.